welcome to my kitchen. Easter's just around the corner, so I'm going to show you how to make my chocolate hot cross buns. So let's get stuck in. Now the ingredients I'll be using for these chocolate hot cross buns are 2 teaspoons of dried yeast, 1.5 cups of warm milk, 1/4 cup of castor sugar, 4 cups of plain flour, 1/2 cup of cocoa powder, 60 grams of butter which is chilled, 1 egg which I've lightly beaten, and 1/2 cup of milk choc chips. First step is to mix together the dry yeast, the warm milk, and a tablespoon of the castor sugar, and then I'm going to set that aside for 10 minutes until it starts to foam. While I wait for that yeast to activate, I'm going to mix together the flour and the cocoa powder. Next step, I'm going to rub the butter into the cocoa powder and flour using my fingertips until it resembles breadcrumbs. Okay, that yeast mix has been sitting aside for 10 minutes. I have formed a well in the center of my flour mix, and I'm going to add the yeast mix, the remainder of the sugar, and the egg. And I'm just going to cut through the mix with a butter knife. This mix here has started to form a dough, and I've lightly floured my surface here. I'm just going to tip this dough out and bring it all together and knead it for about a minute. I've popped that dough in a lightly oiled bowl. I'm going to pop some plastic wrap over the top and set it aside for an hour just so it can rise. Okay, this dough's been sitting aside for an hour. I have lightly greased a square cake tin and I popped that to the side. For this dough, I'm just going to punch it out, and all that means is just press into the middle and then fold the outside over itself. Okay, now that this dough is nice and smooth and my arms have had a really good workout, I'm going to knead in the choc chips. I'm now going to roll this dough into 16 balls and then pop them into the baking tray that I prepared earlier. Now I'm going to cover these rolls here with cling wrap and then set them aside for 30 minutes. To make the flour paste, I have 2.5 teaspoons of cold water, 2 teaspoons of castor sugar, and 1/4 cup of plain flour. Now my oven is preheating at 180 degrees Celsius. For the flour paste, I'm just going to mix together the plain flour, sugar, and the water, and then pop it into a piping bag and pipe the lines across the buns. Now these ones are going into the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to turn it down to 160 for a further 20 minutes. For the gelatine glaze, I've got 1 tablespoon of boiling water and a teaspoon of gelatine. Okay, I've just taken these ones out of the oven. I'm going to make the gelatine glaze and then just brush that over the top. So to do that, I'm just going to sprinkle the gelatine over the boiling water and give it a good mix until the gelatine dissolves. Now I just have to let these cool, and that's it, homemade chocolate hot cross buns. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next week. Bye.